All right, YouTube, welcome to the Li Mei Tremor Guide. Recording this on March 24th, 2025. So this is very shortly after the new changes with T1000. So Tremor just got this new move in Crystalline, and some of his ambush moves just got faster. So now that he's been buffed, I think that this is officially Li Mei's best cameo and her best team. So we're going to go over how you play this team and why I think now this is her best team. So like I do with all my guides, I'm going to talk about the full screen game plan first, and then we're going to make our way in from there, talk about like the mid distance range, like around here, and then what happens when you get up close. So from full screen, you're pretty much just going to be throwing Nova Blast and blocking projectiles. You can see what I'm doing here. I'm throwing Nova Blast and then I'm putting up Tremor, calling the variation switch just to block incoming projectiles. So you can imagine if you're in a zoning war, then the opponent's just going to be like throwing projectiles at you. And rather than taking the damage, well, once Tremor gets hit, now you're on your own. Like, notice I'm pressing the cameo. He's not coming back until right then. But you can just, you only took 2% for that trade. That's a trade definitely in your favor. Whereas normally you would lose this trade. If you're taking 8%, your projectile only does 7. This case is way better for you. Now, at this point, you kind of have to stall and wait, but Tremor comes back really fast. So that's what you're really going to be doing full screen. I need him to stop doing that. Okay. You also, of course, have the new moves. You can throw Tremor as a projectile. This is a true mid from full screen. So from full screen, it's a true mid. Now, of course, if you've ever tried to throw this up close, you know that it is not a true mid when you get in their face. So like inside of like this range, like anywhere that's not full screen basically, or like maybe forward 3 distance, yeah, you're not going to be hitting people with that. It's easy to low profile. It only does 5%, so it's not really going to win against like a lot of other projectiles on trade. It does knock down, so that's nice, but it does throw them full screen. So like this is an okay projectile. But you can also jump on this, and that's just holding whatever direction you want to jump in and cameo. So you can press cameo, you can hold back, that's how you get the close jump. You can do this without holding anything, that's the medium jump, or you can hit far or forward and you'll get a far like forward jump. So it works the same way as span lift, except obviously it's not an ambush. You have to do that, but you can special cancel into this. So that is something, like if you need to get out of the corner or something like that, you can just imagine they block that and boom. Some characters can anti that with like a down 2 or like an Ashra stand 2, but a lot of characters you can just get out of the corner for free with that. So nice little tip right there. But yeah, you want to always be in Crystalline when you're in neutral, because Crystalline gives you the option both to put on some armor or like use any of your Crystalline moves, because all 3 of these are good for a zoning war. And it also gives you the option to switch into Metallic or Aftershock and use an ambush, which is the more common and practical use of this variation. So I'm not even going to say the more common and practical use, because people use these moves a lot because of how good they are. So Crystalline is now back when he first got released, Tremor, Aftershock I think was his only real viable variation. Then they gave him cooldown buffs, and now Metallic is still last, but Crystalline has the reflect, and then Crystalline armor got a little bit of a cooldown buff, so you can see by the time Crystalline wears off, your cameo is like almost halfway recharged anyway. And then of course you have this new move. So the important thing is that because you're in Crystalline, you get to do stuff like that now. Now, sometimes this doesn't combo. What you have to do is, if you do this too quickly, this will happen. You'll notice that's only a 2-hit combo and not a 3-hit combo, because they can actually block the second hit. So what you have to do is you have to wait for your character to be able to move and then do ground pound. So that's going to look like this. And you can see there, now it combos. So if you're still in the recovery of a move, then this will happen with multi-hit cameo moves. And a good way to demonstrate this is actually with Baraka, with Kano knives. So like Kano knives would normally combo, but since you're still in the recovery of your own move, you know, that's just to prevent infinites and things like that. So you have to worry about, you know, you have to worry about doing this a little bit too early sometimes. But if this does happen, that's actually a pretty good situation for you because you get a save hard to block cartwheel. Like that's not the worst thing in the world. And of course, you can also do this with metallic as well. You're just probably not going to get as much off of it, so keep that in mind. But yeah, that's pretty much what you're going to be doing full screen. You can also counter call and protect yourself after a lantern. I should add that. You don't have to do this after projectile. You could really do this after anything. You could do like air projectile into Tremor, like lantern and Tremor. And then as long as he doesn't get hit, you're going to be able to just like rapid fire do that every time you throw a projectile and not take any incoming damage, except for the 2% that comes from Tremor getting hit, which is way better for you than 7, 8%, sometimes like 10% from some other projectiles. Because this will counter EX projectiles that eat other projectiles. So you can imagine like if Baraka's EX projectile, I know it doesn't, but if it did, Tremor would still block this and they would still take the damage, and now they spin a bar. So that's that. Now we can move on to this range. So in this range, this is like the only time where I recommend staying out of Crystalline because the other variations just have better tools for you. So if you're an Aftershock, you get access to this ground pound. This ground pound actually goes pretty far and it's -12 on block, just to show you. I don't know why frame data isn't like the default. That should be the default if you ask me, like having frame data on, but whatever. This is -12 and it reaches like really far. That's about how far it goes. That's like max range. So no one's punishing -12 from there. You also, of course, have straight punch. Now, you don't really use straight punch in neutral, but it does go like decently far. It is a high, that's why it's not connecting right now, but that goes decently far. You also have this. I'm not going to tell you like, oh, you can just use your up punch in neutral. Don't do that. Like you have a whole move dedicated to anti-air, so don't do that. Plus, you can cover both options if you do something like this. So like you can see, I just called metallic to cover the ground, and of course, if they jump, they're getting hit. You can also like throw in an aerial boulder at some point if you want. People seem to forget that you can aim this like overhead or low. But yeah, from here, you're really just going to be using a lot of your raw Tremor normals because they're just so good. Look at that, +4. I don't know why it's +4, but it is. So from here, you kind of just, the same thing for all your other teams applies. You're going to want to try and like check people with down 4, but you know what? You can just throw in a ground pound because why not? It's safe. More Nova Blast from here, and then you see them. Oh yeah, you can still counter call from here too. Like don't ever stop counter calling because you never know, right? You never know when they might throw a projectile or Tremor might even eat their button. You never know. So that's really your up here forward 3 distance, like round start distance game plan. So you have ground pound, you have, you're not really going to be using Crystalline as much from this distance, like I said, but outside of this very specific distance. So like when you're walking people down, you could kind of just walk down, switch, and do that sort of thing. Because now Crystalline isn't like, you're not using this from this, oh sorry. You're not using this from here because like this is a high. Oh, it is plus like 1,000,000 if you do happen to get people to block this. But yeah, Crystalline doesn't have the tools that you want from here. Up close, 1-2 is still like your main strike throw tool. You actually do get throw combos, but you have to do it in a very specific way mid-screen. So you have to do this. Just make sure I can do this. So yeah, that's your way of getting throw combos. You have to call Tremor first. If you try and do this like without calling Tremor, without calling him first, that's way too slow. It's not gonna combo. You're gonna get some nice pressure afterwards because of aerial boulder, but like no, you're not getting a combo because that's way too slow. You have to do Tremor, then do forward grab and back cameo at the same time. So look at my inputs. I just did cameo, forward L1, back R1. It's all one sort of motion, so that's gonna take some getting used to if you're not used to it, but I do recommend learning this. And you can actually get a forward for 3 if you time this properly, but I would argue that because it scales so hard because it's a throw combo, it's probably better and more worth it to go for back to 4 because this is 12 frames, this is 14 or 16. So this is 4 frames faster, so it's easier to hit. And if they block it, this is -7, whereas this is -20. So if you want to go for the higher damage, you are going to want to go for forward 4-3. Just make sure that you have the link down. And make sure that if they block it, you react and you stop the string short, because then you're only somewhat likely to die and not guaranteed to die, because this is still -11. Even the stagger is unsafe. So just remember that. Which is why I say, like, just go for back 2-4. It's like way safer. Now the combo afterwards is like still kind of difficult. So you might want to like cop out and go for the easy route. You know, something like that. So you just have to pick which throw combo you think suits you better. I feel like I'm more likely to go for the forward 4 route in game, because it's just like a little bit easier and you get higher reward. I tend to go for higher execution, higher damage combos. That's just like a personal thing, but yeah, you can choose. But yeah, you do get throw combos with this team, so that's cool. So your strike throw is obviously like going to be really good. You also get a safe / plus cartwheel. So your cartwheel does combo now, so you have cartwheel as a threat. Just to show you that real quick. So yeah, that does combo now. We can go over to like specific combo routes and stuff in the combo section. Thinking about making that a separate part of the guide, but we'll see. We'll see if that's like a part 2 or if I'll just do it right now in this video. But yeah, your strike throw is really good. That's why I went here. Your strike throw is really good. Of course, you still play strike throw the same way you would like Scorpion, Movado. You have your back 3, you have back 3 mind game, sweep, 1-2, 1-2, back dash, back 2-1. After back 2-1, the only thing that's a little bit different is now, of course, you can call Tremor and make that plus. Wow, I didn't even know it was that plus, but yeah, this is plus 30. So have fun with that, you know? And just do what you want. Now there is a gap there. There is a pretty big gap. You can armor it, but you can like react to them armoring and like block that. So I don't know what his. I think it's that. No, that's his down forward 2. Whatever his thing is called. So you can kind of react. Plus, if you don't react, like, it's no big deal. They just spent a bar, they still took the 6%. Like, it's not the worst thing. Unless they're like an armor launcher character, which there are not a lot of these days. Like Shang, maybe, Sector. There's not a lot of armor launchers in this game, so like getting hit by armor is not the worst thing. So for all I'm concerned, this is just like a free way to extend your pressure. And then of course you can do that. It is technically better if you switch to Aftershock because there is no gap. And I don't know exactly how plus that is. I didn't time it right there, so. There's like a middle ground where it jails and it's more plus. It's somewhere around like plus 22, plus 25, something like that. Yeah, so you have back to 1 mind games now. Another cool thing you can do after back to 1, because you put out Tremor and they're expecting an ambush, when they see you call out Metallic, they're thinking, oh, he's probably going to do Lava Burst because, you know, he just called Tremor. So what you do instead, remember, you get a throw combo with Metallic, but only if you call Tremor first and then do this ambush. So if you put that together, since they're expecting you to do Lava Burst, oh yeah, and the later you do this, the more plus it is. So you can make this like plus 50. It's just obviously there's going to be a gap there, but so yeah, you do. This team is really cool. You get to do like cool stuff like that. Like you condition them. It's kind of tight, and like you would get a safe jump right there. That yeah, but also you can do this. Like you literally get to bait them into sitting there and waiting for the lava burst, and then you get to just do boulder and then forward grab, and boom, that's a combo. Like this team's really cool. So up close, you have a lot of mind games with your different ambush moves. Speaking of, there was one thing I forgot to mention from this range. If you really just desperately need to get in, you can do that. Make sure you set the block. Yeah, you can do that whenever you want because you can just call crystalline armor at any point and make anything safe. Like anything is safe as long as you have crystalline armor on. So what that looks like is this. And I know what you're thinking, like, oh, well, that came out pretty late. They probably still have time to punish it, right? Yeah, but no. So if I set Li Mei to do that to me, and let me make sure I set the block so that doesn't mess up the timing. I'm just gonna hold block for a second. And now I'm getting, well, I'm not getting punished because I was neutral on hit. But you can see, like, of course, it has 6 hits of armor. And let me give you a hint. Nothing I do is going to punish this. And if you try and down 2 cancel, you're going to get anti-air. Like, yeah, so the most you can really get is like a string. A string that you know is still plus on hit. So it's pretty much safe. If you don't trust yourself to be able to do that, because one thing about setting up crystalline armor is that you can't do it too early or it's just going to whiff. So realistically, you'd be doing it from about like the max range of where chain reaction can hit from. But like if you do it too early, it's just not going to work. It's just too far. You're not going to get armored up because the armor just didn't reach you. So you can do this instead and it's easier. You can set up your metallic ball. And yeah, it kind of works the same way. It's just this one is more prone to getting punished because metallic just takes too long to get there. Like the ball just has to roll over there. So there's easy ways to like get around it. But to show you what I mean. So like it's there. Of course, you can do stuff like armor it. You could obviously down 2 cancel it. Depending on how you time it, you actually might just jump over it completely without having to worry about like taking the damage. But yeah, there's a lot of gimmicky but not gimmicky stuff. Like it looks gimmicky, but it's actually like really real. And you could also call this overhead boulder, because you can imagine if you've been doing low boulder, boom, overhead boulder, that's gonna catch somebody and you're gonna get a combo. Now you have to do it like max range in order to get that to happen because of the arc of this projectile. You can see it has a pretty long arc. So it's just gonna whiff if you do it too close. You have to do it like really far out. And then you'll get the overhead ball to come out. And that's really how you play this team. You know, you have a lot of Tremor tools at your disposal. You don't get a throw combo. What I like to do is just throw on crystalline armor after this because, like, you know, why not? And boom, now you're +7, but you have crystalline armor on. Because normally you don't get anything off of this because look at the awkward spacing. You know, down 4 doesn't reach from here. Back 2 doesn't, well, back 2, it doesn't reach from there because they can easily just walk back, and depending on how they're breathing, it might whiff. So, but that's all for mid screen. Now in the corner, nothing much changes, kind of like Mavado or Scorpion, but your forward 3, of course, becomes very, very good because unless you happen to flawless block or up block this, which I'm going to give you a hint, no one's thinking about forward 3 because you're Li Mei. You have 1-2, you have cartwheel, you have 2 throw combos. Listen to me. You have 2 throw combos. That's 1 from your forward throw and 1 from your back throw. Don't believe me? Just watch, you know? Oh, and of course, I would mess it up, but you have 2-way throw combos. Oh, and this way, like same thing. You also don't have to be an Aftershock. You can be an Aftershock, but like you have so many ways to get a throw combo with this team. Like you don't even have to use metallic to get it, but actually you might be able to. You know what? Sure, why not? I mean, it is going to scale more. Don't do that because it has like more scaling than any other combo route that you could go for. But you have so many different ways to get a throw combo with this team. So in the corner, it's just do what you were doing mid screen. You know, play around your plus frames, use your mind games, and then of course, when it's time, get the throw combo. And of course, you do want to keep, you know, you want to stay in Crystalline. Not just because you get all the different ambush stuff, but also because it's the easiest way to get combos. The easiest way to get combos is to already be in Crystalline because one thing about Crystalline, you don't have any ambushes that actually combo, except like maybe, let me think. Maybe you can get like stuff like this. But you can see, like, it's not that good. So if you want a combo, you want to already be in Crystalline. So I'm just going to go ahead and switch to Crystalline. And then you can get your forward throw combo, your back throw combo.
Will you surrender?
Now I will say the back 2-1 bait doesn't quite work as well when they're in the corner because your throw combo timing is a little bit different. So the back 2-1 thing only works mid-screen, but keep in mind you don't have to do this off of back 2-1. You can do this off of anything. So like you can imagine if we were mid-screen, that would have been a throw combo right there. You can do stuff like that. Just play with it. You have so many different options, which is why I think that this team is just better. You have 1100 health, more tools, higher damage, and everything is great. And with that being said, it's time to talk about combos. So let's talk combos. Your basic B&B off of your stand 1 is just going to be 1-2 Nova Blast, and then switch into Aftershock and do that. So you're going to do up punch after Nova Blast, and then you're going to do the same combo as if you were doing forward 4-3. So it's going to look like this. You don't have to switch to Crystalline. I'm just doing that to... Wow. That's the easiest part of the combo, by the way. Of course, Classic Sinister can't do a combo when recording a YouTube video. Okay, 500. That does like basically 500 on the dot. Same thing off of your stand 4. I would switch back to Crystalline like mid combo. You're gonna get 517 off of that, and then off of your cartwheel. That's the optimal, but it is very prone to... Actually, no, it's not the optimal. I lied. You can get more damage with a little like more difficult route. Like it's slightly more difficult, but... Alright, yeah, you want the back 2-4 to hit like that. You get a little bit more damage that way. About 7 more damage, so 0.7%. Of course, you can also cop out and go for like an easy route. You're going to get a little bit less damage that way, but whatever you think suits you best. So that's off of your cartwheel. You don't get like armor combos. If you do happen to land a raw knee and you don't... you know what? I don't recommend just doing raw knee without doing anything because you have so many ways to cover yourself and make yourself safe that I don't recommend just like doing this in neutral without having something behind it. That's the only reason why I even talk about doing knee in neutral in the first place, because chain reaction like can be made safe with Tremor ambush. But if you do just happen to land a raw knee, like if you're punishing something, say like a projectile from Baraka, let me set the distance correctly. You can get a lava burst conversion. It's a little bit tight to do, but it's possible. I don't know why I just lagged right there, but yeah. You can lab this for yourself to like prove to yourself that I'm not lying, but I know this works. Even if I can't show you, this does work. And you can get like a double new conversion. Okay, this is the last one. If it doesn't work this time, then yeah, whatever. I know it works, but when you're recording YouTube, you know, nothing works properly. Yeah, so combo routes. I already went over your throw combo routes. You don't really get anything off of your down back 3 mid screen. In the corner, you actually do. You get this and this, and then you go into your safe jump, or you can spend another bar, of course. Same thing off of your armor. Nothing mid screen, but in the corner. Yeah, you would get the same combo. In fact, your corner routes are literally just your mid screen routes with like, instead of just back 2 lantern, you're gonna do like something a little bit different. So you're doing back 3, stand 4 lantern instead of back 2 lantern. And for those back 2 lantern routes, off of your stand 1, I find it's easier to just walk to get the correct spacing. And off of your stand 4, you kind of have to block dash a little bit to get the correct spacing. You can see like, because the distance is a little bit different, you're gonna have to block dash for the one that puts you further, and then just walk forward for stand 1. And that doesn't have to be off of those 2. It could be off of anything because of how fast this starts up now. So like you could do it off of this, and I believe this does like almost 50, something like that. And if you don't want to spend bar, you could also just do, you know, instead of spending another bar by doing like this, you could just end with you know, jump 1, 3, 4, cartwheel. You know, that's your simple no bar ender for most combos anyway. So there's that. Your 4-3 becomes a launcher. Same thing for cartwheel. The routes are basically the same for all these things. Your fatal blow combo routes, obviously, it's just double lantern into fatal blow. You don't have to overthink it. It's just anything where you were gonna do lantern, you can do fatal blow right here. So I'm not even gonna talk about fatal blow combo routes. Is there any other combo route that I have not talked about yet? I don't think so. Now, real quick, before I end this guy, because I don't think there's anything else I wanted to talk about, you can throw on some crystalline armor. Once you have crystalline armor on, because like I said, the best time to throw crystalline armor on, I think, is after a throw, but it doesn't have to be. Please remember to switch out of crystalline first and then go back if you're already in it, because now you get to do whatever you want. When you have crystalline armor on, you can do whatever you want without consequences. So you can grab, you can cartwheel, you can mess up your cartwheel even, because it doesn't matter. You have crystalline armor on. So yeah, you just messed up your cartwheel, but like, so what, right? And you can even do your low launcher. Don't do it like when armor wears off, but you could do your low launcher. Like it. What I like to do when I'm in crystalline, cartwheel, and low launcher. So you can just start conditioning people to stand up, and then use your normally unsafe low launcher that just became safe because you have crystalline armor on. It's really good. So remember to use your crystalline armor. Use all of your ambushes, because all of your ambushes are really good. Well, most of them. Don't use this as an ambush, because I don't really see the point. Tremor cannot be hit in this state. Like, he's literally invincible. Bro cannot get hit. Like, literally, you can try this all you want. You will not be able to hit him. So don't ambush that. It's so fast anyway. It recovers fast and everything. So like it's so fast that you can actually do this and it's safe on block. This is -6 on block, so that shows you how safe it is. But yeah, that's it for the guide. I appreciate everybody who watched to the end. Just to recap everything we've gone over: counter calling, calling ambushes to cover your projectiles. You get a throw combo, strike throw. If that gets blocked, make sure you commit to forward punch instead of up punch. But yeah, your cartwheel becomes safe. You can do cartwheel and stuff. You get 100 more health. In the corner, just keep doing stuff. Your combo routes are pretty much all gonna revolve around this. Remember the back to 1 OS. Yeah. So you have a lot of tools with this team. I recommend picking this up if you're already playing Li Mei. If you're just getting started with Li Mei, then I recommend learning her other cameos first because I do think this is her best, but it's going to take some practice for people to actually get used to it. I know because I've just started playing this team seriously, I'm not completely used to everything yet, but I'll get there because I am going to practice with this. And if I find some more stuff, I will let you all know. But yeah, that's going to be it for the guide. So peace, take care, and Sinister out.